Sinbad, when did you actually start playing Guns the Duel?
I remember I remember my cousin introducing me to the game. We pretty much just played games like over the PC. Like he lived not too far away from me, so like the distance was like, for example, like he would come visit sometimes and then he'd be like, "Oh, check this game out." And one of those games it was Guns, and I was, kind of like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. It's like a shooting game." It was like the first real shooting game that I've ever played. So,
Okay, so when
um,
you say shooting game, was there case style? Is that what you were interested in, or was it just the fact that it was just like people tumbling around with like?
I like the movement. I thought the movement was cool. I did try to get K style, like in the beginning. I always rocked a sword in the beginning.
Okay, so case
Um,
style was already there whenever you saw it.
yeah,
Whenever you saw this game. Okay.
yeah, it was everywhere, pretty much.
Okay. So, do you remember? Did you play like international guns whenever it was around, or did you start with IG?
I played IJJIs. How I always said I've never really heard anyone say EG. Only over like YouTube and stuff like that. It's so weird hearing it.
Yeah.
I would always just like pronounce the IJJI every time.
Yeah,
But
I did the same whenever I was like 13 or 12 or whatever.
yeah.
Because I didn't
But
know
yeah,
either.
I was just playing IJJI pretty much,
Okay.
and I kind of just I missed it by like maybe 2 years. The like or maybe it wasn't 2 years. I don't know when iGuns closed, but I remember playing on private servers. I played like IJJI in like 2007 to 2008, and then I was like, oh, there's like a thing like called private servers, and like I think the first one I'd ever tried out was Dark Guns, which was pretty cool. It was a cool experience. Like all the
That was one of the first private servers to be around.
Yeah, and I really liked that one. It was pretty cool. It was very unique. Different sounds for a lot of things. It was just like really, really dope. And all the premium items were in the shop, so it was dope.
Yeah, dude. The fact that you get premium items without paying for it was like insane.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you try to learn K-style. That's what you said, right?
yeah. I tried to learn pretty much how to fend for myself. I mean, I played a lot of guns matches. I would do like old types. I would try questing. I would try I would just try messing with the game and seeing like what I could do with it. And then the more I saw people doing these really cool moves is when it got me interested, like trying to be different.
I see.
Yeah. But I played guns for a long time, and it was for like hours on end. You know.
Yeah, yeah. That was the life for a lot of people, man.
Yeah. I um I was interested in um the animation canceling. Like I knew some games had it, like I knew Melee had it, and I was interested in like just messing around with the game and seeing like what crazy things you could do. And I've seen some crazy things over the years from
Yeah.
this game. A lot of people don't know, you know? There's so many bugs and little things that just make this game unique.
Yeah, it either makes or breaks the game.
Yeah. And it made it for a lot of people, and a lot of people, you know,
It's
it
funny. I think
resonated with a lot of people.
last interview, I didn't bring it up with him Nasi, but he was mentioning he like kind of moved on from guns for a little bit because he like was playing other games, and one of them was Gears of War, and I forgot to bring up Gears of War also has like this animation cancel, which completely changed the competitiveness of the game.
Okay. Yeah, and that was primarily like an Xbox thing, right?
Yeah.
Gears of War. I never had an Xbox, so I never played Gears of War. But
Yeah.
I remember like the closest thing to guns at that time, like for me, it was what was it called? It was like Tom Clancy because it's like third person also. So like a
Oh,
like a
okay.
FPS shooter, but like it's also in third person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of Tom Clancy's games are like that. Even though new releases are.
Yeah. I think before the game I was playing like primarily before Guns was RuneScape and old school RuneScape. So
Yeah.
I kind of migrated to that, which was a change of pace for sure because you know RS is a little bit more lax and Guns is like you know literally balls to the walls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very, very fast paced and pretty intense. Very high octane.
hmm Um, did you want to do the 1v1 on iGuns?
Yeah, actually, we could do it on iGuns. I gotta reinstall it,
Okay.
but we can definitely do that.
Yeah, I really like that server. It feels really smooth.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I just, since it's like, you know, it's not as good for streaming, and like I really only like to, whenever I'm playing, I really like to stream. So it's just one of those things. Like if nobody can get on, and I've tried in the past, but it didn't really fall through. I think maybe now I can just like ping the Discord, and people will get on. But it's definitely up to definitely up to the people on that.
For sure.
So
I hear there's like a lot of people just clan warring there, not really playing in the free channel,
yeah.
which is interesting.
So okay, so back to iGuns, or sorry, back to Iggy or IJJI. Whenever you played that, whenever you learn how to play, you were kind of like, you know, at the intermediate level to kind of like a pro level. Were you doing any clan wars, things like that?
I would say I wouldn't touch clan warring until like a private server. So I never tried clan warring. But it was a different experience for me for sure because I would say pretty trash. Like I wouldn't how I am now versus then is like a completely different mindset and everything. You know
Really?
what I mean? Yeah, there's you know because back then you don't really know the timing of things. And like now because my it's literally muscle memory at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. True.
So I already have the you know, I'll just say in IJJI I was absolute dog, and it was pretty safe to say too. Like there was no chance I was the best or even good at aiming because I didn't like lead. I understood what was happening and what I had to do. I just didn't like it. You know what I mean? When anti-lead came through, it was pretty much it made the game seem more competitive for sure.
Yeah. There's a big group surrounding lead and anti-lead and stuff like that. Anti-lead definitely makes this game more enjoyable in the year that we are now. It definitely would have changed the game back then. I think maybe it would have been a little bit more sustainable. But lead shot, I mean, just being able to lead is just a whole skill on its own.
I mean, it's also like kind of not. It's mostly not even reaction because you know you don't know which direction somebody's gonna go in until they go in that direction. So let's say there's 200 ping, right? They can just keep going right, and you will never shoot them because you have to, unless you know they switch up their movements. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you have to kind of
sort
know where
of.
they're gonna go.
I kind of follow you there, because with leading you have to predict on top of where they're gonna go. You have to predict exactly where they're gonna be, right? So whenever your shot falls, you have to predict they're gonna be in that position. But I will say, once you kind of get used to it, it's the same thing. Like right now, in even right here in F guns, I can kind of predict where somebody's gonna go.
Right.
So in that way, I can if it was leading, if there was lead, I can kind of lead in that direction based on my prediction.
Right.
It's kind of like whenever somebody does a late dash or something like that. So if I see them late dash, I feel like they're gonna late dash again. So I'll shoot in the spot that they're gonna be whenever my shot actually goes off.
Right. Right.
So because if I shoot them where they're at and they late dash, I'm gonna miss. So I have to kind of predict that. You know what I mean? So in lead, you do have to predict that, but you have to predict on like a space ahead of that. So if they're late dashing, you're gonna shoot exactly where they are because they're gonna move back into that spot.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think it's also based on preference. Like, do I really want, and also location, because if they're in like across the world, it's not gonna be a very fun game.
No,
I'm gonna be shooting at a ghost most of the game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's one of the things. I think lead is a very lead is kind of like the whiskey of guns, right? It's a very acquired kind of taste. And once you know how to do it, it's really fun and you want to keep doing it. But in the end, I don't see it being sustainable in a competitive environment at all.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd rather do it as a joke, and it would be way more enjoyable because it's, you're not risking like, oh, this player looks bad because he loses against this guy. Like, no, there's a lot of things you have to take into account.
Yeah.
But the lead situation is really it's really because of like the coding of the game and just how everything kind of fell into place.
Yeah.
The game was, the
being peer to peer and everything.
Exactly. And now games are on such levels where, like, you have Valorant where, like, it can, every step matters and, like, it registers for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, more precise stuff.
Right.
A game like Valorant, CSGO, things like that, for sure. Even back in the day, I used to play this game and a game from Nexon called, I think it was like Soldier Friend or something like that.
Right. I remember that game. There's also
So yeah, I definitely understand that. But I will say back then it's just it just adds a skill ceiling, right? It's another thing to add to that, which, a good player, a good clan back then, especially in Clan Wars and Niji, it was all that. I will say K-Style wasn't as it was not as advanced as it was right now. Not by I want to say a long shot, but that's not that's a little incorrect. It was like less than half the population could do what people do now. So K-Style was a lot more fluid and stuff back then. But a lot of it was because everybody had to lead. So if you had a really good clan that knew how to K-Style good and actually lead, a clan from like Brazil or something like that with like 200, 300 ping, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they were able to win consecutively. That's a very good clan. You know what I mean? So like, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those, yeah.
I think a lot of guns is just trial and error because there's so many things that people don't take advantage of, and they just kind of pick up a sword or whatever and not think of like, oh, maybe a large sword would be better, Maybe if I'm not like, if I am used to like slash shotting people, it could be better with a large sword. I mean, because you do have that range. The thing is, large swords they weren't in were they in international guns? Like,
No,
did you have to buy
dude.
them or they weren't in there?
International guns had nothing. Like, I wish I can show you what that was. It had no premium items. Everything that you had in international guns was store bought, and the store bought stuff was it only, I think it only went up to like level, what was it, like 40. There was never, somebody never had, I think, more than like 110 AP. No more than like 120, 25. Yeah, level 50, I want to say, yeah. Somebody's saying that in chat.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, Arkanoi. So you never had, what was the ratio back then for HP AP? It was never, I think it was like, it was less than 120 HP and less than 100 AP, if I'm correct. I want to say it was something like that in terms of items. You didn't have premiums. You didn't have anything like that. There was no way to buy that. There was no way to purchase it. You couldn't donate. You couldn't do anything.
What kind of maps? What kind of maps were there?
It's kind of similar to same maps, but it was also very limited. It's not as obviously as expanded as even Iggy. Iggy had some contests that added maps to the game that were created by both the developers and people, right?
Okay.
Was AP that low? Leap says on chat it's 113 HP, 47 AP.
Wow, that's like basically so low.
Yeah, that's very low for AP. I want to say that's incorrect, but it was eye guns. Like, the items there, I can actually go into a game room and tell you, because I have it burned into my... There was no hats in eye guns. That's for the record. No hats. Okay. So for the female body, we go into the store because it's actually... So it was the flex cotton t-shirt, right? The thing that everybody starts with.
Mm-hmm.
Up to this. Up to the L-Star.
Okay.
Right? For hands, it was the Bic Summer Gloves up to the Rex Iron Gloves.
It was very limited.
Very, very limited.
That kind of explains the AP if there's no hats in the shop.
Yeah, I mean, AP was very limited. Legs, it was Rex Military up to L-Star. And then feet was Bix Summer Sandals up to the Rex Iron Boots. And one of the things was the iron. So like the iron boots and the iron gloves were very heavy because it was iron. So weight was very, very... it was a luxury. So back then, I think this server still has it. Back then, we had... Oh, they don't. Oh, they do. Okay, it's these. Okay, so back then it was the featherweight rings. That's what they were called. But it only increased your weight by 2 or by 1. I think it was by 2 each ring. And so you had to wear those instead of having the other rings. But I can't remember if that was an Ig thing or an iGuns thing.
Everyone had double machine guns too.
Double machine guns, not machine guns. They had, whenever guns like iGuns was out, not a lot of people knew how to K-style. Oh, I'm in inventory. The rifles.
Oh, the submachine guns. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the rifles, and then the other one, everybody started with these. Oh my god, where are they? Wait, did they remove them? Where are they?
SMGs right there. Under shotgun.
Oh, okay, yeah. The SMGs. What is it? The Renards? Do they still have those? I think. Oh, here it is. These guns. Oh my god. These guns, everybody started out with this, and they would just go into a death match and tumble around and shoot them.
Yep.
Island is a typical. Island was a popular map in iGuns. That's true. Yeah, dude, iGuns was very, very. I think that's what our current iGuns is trying to be, but a little bit more orientated on keeping everything vanilla. So like all the items in there and everything are balanced, just kind of like the vanilla mode on F guns.
Right.
That's how. I mean, that's how iGuns went. So with you, whenever you started, you already played Iggy. You started on Iggy.
Yeah, I started in around. I'm gonna say around 2007 to 2008.
Oh, okay.
So I guess whenever iGuns died, it was pretty much a little bit after that.
2000. Yeah, it was around that area. It was like 2007, 2006.
Okay.
iGuns wasn't around for as long as Iggy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I heard it was only like at the span of like, I don't know, like 2 to 3 years, longer than that.
Yeah, just about 2 to 3 years.
It's pretty cool though. I remember a lot of people saying they played the iGuns server, and I was a little jealous. You know, I never played it. Like I just missed the mark, which sucks, but
Yeah. iGuns is where very few people learned how to K-style. K-style was really a big thing. The training rooms for it, everything was a huge thing in Iggy.
yeah, I remember there was a lot of stairway maps. A lot of people really like doing Gladiator and Stairway.
Yep, Stairway was a big thing, man.
Yeah.
K-style
My favorite thing back then, I think, because when I got onto private servers for guns, it was like a whole new world, right? It was like, you know, the custom maps are also really dope. I remember on Trinity Guns, there was a map called Tri-Boss, and you literally spawn in the you get spawned down a chute, and you gotta like pick three spots to go in, and it was like you could fall off the map pretty much if somebody was like at the bottom waiting for you, which was pretty cool. And I remember people sniping that map so much, and then there was like all these ways to get out of the map glitch by like stacking on people and going straight into the air.
Oh, that's true.
That was pretty cool.
I remember. Oh my god, dude, that was so long ago too. Trinity Guns.
Trinity Guns was like probably my favorite server.
Your favorite one? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, because it had a lot of things that made that server unique at that time. Like it was just kind of all the items were pretty balanced. A lot of people really got along with like the ideas of snipers back then, because you had like they were the ones who like coded in to scope. So back then that was like a huge deal, adding snipers to the game.
Oh, that's true.
I think that server did it really well too. It was kind of like how it is on FG, but like there's no like actual scope. You kind of just like your character goes invisible, and then that's the scope.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So it's not a zoomed in way.
No. It wasn't zoomed in back there.
Still icked by snipers. Harkno said that in chat. So, okay, so you actually did learn K-style, right? So when did you when did you actually want to start learning how to play with the dagger?
It wasn't until the end of Trinity Guns, I would say. This was like 20, 2010, 2011. Probably end of 2010 is when they like closed up shop. But I remember there was a player on Trinity Guns. His name was Hell's Guards. And he was a GM there. And I remember would be in a room and I would see him like back then you had to lead too, so it was like still leading, but it was like a dagger player shits on like 2K sellers. It's like a 2v1 or something. I was like, oh, that's really dope. That he could manage that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So then I started messing around with it.
Oh.
And then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much history. And then she never stopped.
So you just like picked up the did he train you or anything like that?
It was like here and there. It wasn't like we like had sessions and stuff like that. I would ask him how to do a move, and if he was free or whatever, we'd go into a training or whatever. But it was just a little bit of training, but mostly just like timing, practice, like over and over, like going into a duel match and losing like 1,000 times to like understand like what my advantages are. Just a lot of like trial and error, pretty much.
So whenever you were learning D style and all that stuff, did you play K style while you were trying to like learn it? Were there ever times whenever you like put it off to the side and like went back to K style for a little bit, or were you just like you were just fucking going ham on a D style?
Yeah, I agree with Malik, boss. I was gonna say that I kind of stopped using sword like for years. Like it would be like, how people would have premium items on a private server. I wouldn't have a sword ever. It would be like if I had extra money, but I would never like use a sword. It'd be like that for years. I'd play like 5 years, get really good at daggers, and then I would. A lot of people would see me doing that and be like, "Oh, that's really cool," or like just a little comment here and there. Kind of gives you the hope to keep going,
Yeah. I honestly
it's
like
really cool.
I've picked up daggers as well, but I can't seem to just get like the yo-yo thing that a lot of D-sellers do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
it's fairly easy. It's all about when you want to do the move. It's very easy, and it's kind of funny that you can't do it on a female and with shotguns. Being shotguns are one of the more popular weapons in the game for sure.
Yeah. Well, as a D-seller, like whenever you're in range, shotguns are like your best friend, I would imagine, right? Can't really do much of anything else.
Shotguns are probably the most effective weapon, I would say, if you want to kill somebody very fast. But if you have decent aim, I would say.
Yeah.
And you're playing an anti-lead server, I would say go for a revs every time. Because a rev is supposed to kill somebody and less shots because they're gonna do more damage per bullet. So
true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Like I think people who try different styles of guns, like gun styles, like using two different weapons, a lot of people kind of don't even think about it like that. They're like, oh, if I could reload shot, might as well just go for a shotgun every time. But no, there's a lot of cool things you could do in this game. Like, if you had like rockets, you can use rockets to get to do like a super jump if you point it at the ground and jump it, shoot at the same time.
Oh yeah, if you want to sacrifice some HP, sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of cool things like that, I guess. I see a lot of cool things like on mostly IJJI, like shotgun and rockets were really cool.
Rockets were pretty fun in EG, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people would use them.
People even bought like their premium rockets, I believe. I think they had those.
I couldn't tell you. I remember one time, my first time buying like a premium item. I bought something that was way over leveled for me, so I never even got to wear it. It was like the worst day of my life. I was like, oh my gosh. I just bought a Valkyrie set, and it was like you have to be level 20. You have to be like level.
Yeah, I think the highest was like 50.
Yeah, for some of them.
So, I remember one of my friends gifted me, actually one of my friends in Sparta gifted me a Guns Republic. And I remember that being like level 50 or something like that.
Oh.
I can't remember. I think it was something else. Because the Republic of, or Priest of Republic or something like that. What the frick is it called? Now it's on my mind. But yeah, I do remember feeling like that, and I was just kind of like, what could you do at that point?
Yeah, nothing really. They're not gonna refund it to you because it's just, you know.
Oh, Republic Gun Priest. I had it on a male character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess my real first set that I actually got to buy and wear was the Icarus one.
The Icarus? Oh, okay, yeah.
The yellow. Yeah, I was balling on a budget, but I had that. I remember having like the Desert Flame for a little bit.
Desert Flame.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was a popular one, as well as the Gunner Heaven set.
Right.
With the top hat.
Yeah, Gunner Haven with the fedora.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good set too. It's like an OG set.
All right, so Deviox says, "Why did you become an annoying dagger noob that everyone hates?"
Because if there isn't, who's gonna be the bad guy if I'm not there?
True, actually true.
I have a lot of people in F guns who just don't like me because I use a rusty dagger, and it's like, who let this kid in here? And then here comes the kick, and then boom.
Yeah, I see that a lot. You get kicked from a lot of Gladiator rooms.
Yeah, it's all over my Twitch. I mean, there's highlights and highlights and highlights of like me pretty much. You need a bad guy underling to do your bidding when you're not around. See, the thing is, I don't know if a lot of people who play guns see it, or like at least F guns, you know. There's a lot of people coming back, like who destyled, like that we've known over the years, people who have been in clans that, you know, were on IJJI or area guns or whatever, whatever server they're from, they're just like coming back and like playing a couple games, and they're like, yo, that was good playing with you. You know, they'll come back and say hi and shit, and
oh yeah,
it's I like that. Even if you're not an active player, you know, people make lifelong friends over the internet.
Yeah,
shit happens.
I have a very best friend that I'm gonna interview. Actually, next week I'm interviewing another player that I used to clan war with.
Oh, what's his name?
Well, we went by a lot of names back then, but I think right now he's just going as his normal name, which is on guns. I think it's Relaxed. I think.
Okay.
Are we doing A and D? What is this? So, while we're on the subject of clan warring, you were in remind me of the name, Street D, is that it?
Yeah. I was in Street D. Not the original Street D, but
Okay, so
when they came back to guns after area, after area like just started, we all got back on, and I met like old, Street D players. So it was pretty cool. Not an OG, but I was in the clan.
okay, so you were in Street D after area then, right?
Yeah, so like pretty much when area started, I got invited because everybody was pretty much coming back to guns, because area guns was gonna save us. But I remember when people said that. It used to be funny. People on private servers are like, "Oh, guess we gotta go play official now." But
So I remember playing private servers for a long time and then going back to official. That was one of the things that I did for, because I preferred playing private servers because they were well developed. They had music, they had animated menus, different colors of stuff. It was pretty
some
nice.
everything.
Yeah, and so like I didn't see a reason to go back, and then I heard the stupid Guns original music, right? The original OST, and I was like, damn, I miss like OG Guns, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I hear this music. I hear the music, and it's like not even. It's not annoying because I've heard it for so many years. It's like every time I hear it, it's nostalgic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you do some shout outs so we recognize these D-sellers when we're on? Yeah. So, Sinbad, you guys maybe don't know, Sinbad is actually also a streamer. He streams this server, F-Guns, and international too.
Yep. I try to stream like new things. It's like it's always dependent on like what my viewers are like trying to tell me to watch or play.
Yeah.
So, but it's dope. I love having an audience when I play guns, especially when I play guns. But yeah, a couple of shout outs. I mean, there's a lot of good daggers out there. Just to name a few, there's Zafard. He's very consistent. He's always on. Very
Zafard is a
active
good
player.
one. Yep, I've seen him around.
He's up there. Hell's Guards is just actually, he just logged for the.
Where'd he go? Oh, sorry.
I'm watching the stream too. So
Okay. So,
but yeah, there's Hell's Guards who's not retired. He comes back and plays the game here and there, but he's really good actually, and surprisingly he's like jumped back into it really quick. But yeah, so if you see Hell's Guards online, say hi to him. He's an old iGuns player. He's played like the beta version also. But Zafard, I'm missing a lot of people. Let's see. My buddy Vetus, he's good. There's a lot of people I'm missing.
Venus? Yo.
Not Venus.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that rings a bell.
Yeah, VITAS. But there's when I log into my if you ever see me online on my main character with the red name, my whole clan is pretty much goated with daggers. So
Yeah, because it's like you. Who's the leader of Street D on F-Guns?
it's Zafard.
Safard. Okay.
Yeah, Zafard's
Because
the leader.
he remade it to be a. To make it D-sellers again, right?
I think. Well, I'm pretty sure. I think when it was remade, I made it. Before even Hell's Guards was because Hell's Guards is the owner of the original clan.
Yeah.
So I made it on here, and just people hand back the leadership role a lot. Especially if they're not gonna play for a while or whatever the case may be. So we'll just hand it to each other and make sure the baton is passed.
Oh, I see. Dude, I swear some of these players on here still underclock.
Yeah, it's not beneficial if you use it when you're destyling. So
Really?
if somebody's, it's not.
I didn't know that. What the hell?
Because if you underclock, you can't do certain moves. You can do them, but you'll never know the timing for it if it's an unstable, like, you know, underclock, overclock, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'd imagine you need all the frames you can get as a desteller, right?
Well, you need enough frames just to be able to do a yo-yo. If you can't,
Oh,
you know,
I see.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you mistime it, you'll tumble. So if you overclock, I mean, if you underclock, for sure, it's not going to be beneficial. But if you overclock, I'm not sure. I haven't tried it.
Blue team wins. Get ready to fight. Let's rock.
UC is optimal for gunning. OC is optimal for Glad.
That makes sense.
What does OC do? I don't even know.
Overclocking?
Overclock. What do you like? What does that benefit though?
From what I understand, your game client will perform. It's kind of like a prioritize thing, right? So processor priority. But
So like, what does it do for the game? Do you get more? Is it for more FPS or is it for like changing how the game responds to being prioritized higher? Faster animations, delays, recovery time, broken as hell. Same FPS, the game is just running literally at higher speed.
yeah, same frame rates, but you get you can still move a lot faster if you overclock.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen somebody overclock, and I know what overclock looks like. It just looks like their animations are lagging. A lot of people don't know about like lag switching. It's been a thing for a long time, but the amount of people that I've seen lag switch in recent memory is like, it's absurd how many people.
Yeah, lag switching, dude, it's been a thing for a long time.
Crazy. People are still trying to. I lose to people that lag switch. They'll just jump around and go somewhere else. Classic end step tool. Yeah.
Oh, end step, man. That's what it was called.
Yeah. But I think now if you end step in like F guns at the right time, you could shoot them just in time
Yeah, but
before it's gimmicky. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Even though it does help them.
All it takes is a hotkey. That's all it is. Kind of like a macro.
Yeah.
I remember some old clans, man. Some people in Sparta. I don't want to call them out, but I mean they've already been called out. But they like literally said that they set up this whole thing to be able to lag switch, which is, I mean, just, you know, having a thing where it disconnects you and reconnects you very quickly. They would have a hotkey for that on like an external number pad.
You killed them all. Final round. Let's rock.
The game freeze bug where you have like a macro that presses what is it, print screen?
A lot
You know
of people
about that trick?
Yeah, like you can very visibly see whenever somebody does it.
Yeah, for sure. I walked into a Glad match one time and I saw him doing it. I saw somebody doing it, and I thought it was funny because he would do it in a way where it was just barely noticeable. Like he'll do a little jump and it's like a super jump if he just, you know, holds it for like a couple of seconds. I've tried it. It's so broken.
Yeah, have you tried it in F guns?
Oh yeah, I mean you can do macros in F guns as long as it's in a training room. So when I was testing it out, you can pretty much do like a reverse. I've seen people do, you know, walking you know how they run on walls? You can run backwards pretty much if you time it right.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I've seen plenty plenty of people do it.
Do they do that in game?
Yeah. And I think the only thing to do is to to remove it. Macro, if you macro like macroing anything in guns
Some players are not ready yet.
could be like learning to macro well, I would say, because you can make a macro for a lot of things. You can make a macro for, you know, E flip,
Some players are
which
not ready
is a very tight input.
yet. Some players are not ready yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a really tight input.
Get ready.
And I remember
Let's rock.
people would do Glad Clan War and have a macro for E lunge or E flip, and that shit is so broken. And they're getting free coins for cheating, pretty basically.
I think macroing in general is just like a game breaker, right? So anything that's really going to aid you in the game, it's kind of like a gimmick. And I've talked about it before in my stream. It's just like I don't understand how somebody can imagine or say that they're good at the game when they're using these methods, right? And some of these people use these methods and they still lose. And it's absurd to me. It's very absurd.
Yeah, for sure.
But when it's used correctly and like not correctly, but like when it's used and people are winning off of it and then their ego gets inflated.
There's something really funny about and I'll let you guys into a little secret because I see it in the comments. But there's to E-lunge, you can E-lunge like 100% by doing one thing, and it's just changing your FPS. If you change your FPS, you can get the input times to be smaller, essentially, you know, making it easy to have like a 80% chance of E-lunging, which is what I suggested on the forums on F-Guns. I told them they should make a FPS command so it'd be really easy. It'd be easy to do certain moves, and moves like E-lunge be perfect for it. Like having like a F1 as like changing my FPS to 30 or 60, and then changing it back would be like F2 or something. I do that on iGuns and it's like it's butter smooth.
Wait, you do what?
I changed my FPS with a macro, and it to be able to E-lunge like without, you know, pretty much hacking. Basically, what I'm saying is you can change your FPS and make it easier to do certain moves.
Oh, frick. Yeah, I mean, it's easily done at 60 FPS. So wait, are you increasing your FPS when you do that?
No, you're lowering it. You're lowering it to to essentially make it easier to do the move. Malik knows what I'm talking about. If you have a dome, I forgot what the term is called. It's like a dome keyboard, like an old Dell keyboard.
Yeah.
It's super easy to do E-lunges on there at like whatever FPS. Usually the lower the better, but
Yeah, actually somebody was complaining about that the other day, where they were kind of talking about the mechanical keyboard versus like the old keyboards that we used to play on.
yeah.
Does that, so as a deseller, does that matter a lot for you?
Yeah, it definitely does matter. I switched to a K70. I used to have an old Dell, and playing on it was really good. But when I switched to a mechanical keyboard, some of the inputs were like a little bit like smooth. It's just as it's hard to describe, but like playing on a rubber dome keyboard is so much different than playing on a mechanical keyboard for guns, especially guns.
Yeah, something weird about the
You can e-lunge at 40 FPS. You can e-lunge at 30 FPS. You can e-lunge. You just have to get the input into the. So the game is giving you like frames, right? Let's say you're only getting 30 frames. You can still put that input in those 30 frames. You know. I don't know how long it takes for each input, but it's easier to. What's it called? Easier to e-lunge at 60 FPS. But nobody's gonna want to play it at 60 FPS. You know what I mean?
why
It's
not?
trash. It's trash. 60 FPS is it's good for some things in Glad, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if it's good enough to do E-lunge, there's probably some moves that you can only do at that FPS. All right, I'm gonna get on FG.
Oh wait, no, we can do it on iGuns.
Okay, it doesn't matter. So
It doesn't matter. Are you sure?
yeah, it doesn't matter.
We could just do it on FG.
All right.
I'll give you some time if you want to join this room. You
Sure.
can warm up. It's just
Did
for
you,
fun.
Yeah, no worries. Did you have any more questions?
What do you think? I don't really. It's kind of weird. So like, the outlook of the game, right? You obviously you played a game, you stream it. So I'd imagine you have like a pretty high outlook. You would want this game to kind of keep moving forward, still being played, things like that. What are some things in your personal opinion? Like, what are some things that you would like to be moved forward in terms of community, different servers, things like that?
In terms of like the community, I think just attracting a specific audience, like hardcore gamers, right? A lot of people who enjoy shooting games just for like shooting and accuracy and stuff like that, I feel like could appreciate a game like this. Maybe not like, no life it like some people have, but like, could try the game out, see what they think,
Yeah.
I think if we try to not brand guns, like try to rebrand it, not try to rebrand it, but like show them like this is what like we used to do. Like this is like how we played the game. Just introduce people how you got started and stuff like that. I think that would kind of like carry on and people would be more interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people should not focus on like trying to change too much of the game, but trying to garner their, like, just show people what this game could do. A lot of I've seen a lot of exciting stuff, on stream for guns, just for guns. Like when I watch Rain TV or Cosine, I see like crazy stuff happen in clan wars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you think like they're changing one thing could develop a whole new meta, and also like it differs for server to server. So
Yeah.
not every guns server meta is gonna be the same, but in terms of what people can do, I guess to my outlook on the game, obviously is to have more people just try it. And maybe have like a different system where it's mostly cosmetic and there's no like pay to win shit.
True.
Like if I could pay for a skin for just the shotgun, I would do it. Because that'd be cool.
No, my name Guapo. It's not a tournament. Tournament. It's not a tournament, dude. The tournament the replay we watch. It's kind of near the beginning of the VOD. If you wanna, whenever this is over, you wanna rewatch that. So, Sinbad, it's crazy that you say that, but back then, actually, a lot of people played this, man. Hang on, let me put a password on this. Alright, I send you the room thing.
Okay. So what's the what are the rules for the 1v1?
There are no rules. If you want to do Glad, we can do that, or if we just want to go, just 1v1 BNB, doesn't matter.
We could do both. I mean, if you want to just do like a make them short, that doesn't matter to me.
What map do you want?
Is it what match is it? Duel?
Huh? Oh, we can do duel if you want.
Sure. Just getting my items. I had to switch characters.
Risco yourself has said that there used to be 20k. Yeah, dude, I have screenshots of there being upwards of like 30k. Now communities are spread between servers. Yep, true. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was big streamers that one of them I used to be friends with. His name was Dyrus. Whenever he played this game,
I remember playing against Dyrus.
yeah, Dyrus was he was like a subpar player, but he liked the game. But then League of Legends came out. He came back to guns, and it was pretty bad. He just didn't want to play because the whole leading and all that stuff, and people doing back then overclocking was underclocking was pretty prevalent. Both of them were pretty prevalent. And it was just it ruined the game essentially for the competitiveness of it. And then some other people talk about it too, some big streamers like Poke and stuff like that, where this game was just like very, very competitive, and I don't know if they will ever play it again, especially because of outdated graphics and stuff. But at the same time, I mean, people play Minecraft. It's just
Yeah,
one of
I don't
those
think
things.
I think more for me, it's definitely not the look of the game. Like, I don't care what the game looks like. I just want to shoot people.
Yeah, I
What's
think.
the? I guess I gotta get the password because I'm at the lobby.
Oh, it's on Discord.
All right, I'll see. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I think it's just the gimmicks, man. A lot of people use gimmicks to play and to win and stuff, but
Yeah, I see it a lot too. I mean, it's kind of unavoidable, just like with how games are and technology.
yeah.
You can't really stop it, but people are gonna try, for sure. Give me the limit breaker. All right, I'm ready.
All right. I just want to shoot people. True.
Yeah, I just want to shoot people for sure. Are we not bowing?
Oh, are we?
I don't know.
I
I
guess
got
not.
shot at. I had to retaliate.
Yeah, true.
Oh, Hood Rich. What's up, Hood Rich? I remember that name. We could just be NBL. It's okay.
Yeah, this is B&B. Ooh, that was a good PB.
Thank you.
I'm also drinking, as is the tradition for me to do these interviews. Wow. I missed
You
that
play
shot.
UGG? Yeah, no worries.
UGG sometimes, really?
Yeah, I play sometimes.
UGG?
Yep. I play all the servers, bro.
So UGG, if I remember, had like some kind of a rootkit or something like that.
I don't think it was ever. I don't honestly know. Ooh, nice.
Okay.
I'm not really sure if there's an actual rootkit.
Some people say,
claim,
yeah, some people said there was. Some people said it was. Some people said it wasn't. That it was just like their anti-hack thing. I had somebody in my chat trying to play this game, and he said that there was like some kind of Trojan on F guns. But I scanned it, didn't find anything. I think people, I don't know.
I think what happens is, and this happens a lot, when I used to play servers, like Trinity guns, dude, any guns that I used to download would always say that there's a Trojan. And I would look into it, it's like, it's just the guns launcher. Because,
Oh, true. That's
You know what I
all it is. Like, yeah, I think servers have to have that.
mhm.
Servers have to have the. Oh my god, I cannot land 2 straight hits on you.
Probably because my movement's different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really used to shooting people like me.
Not in a duel, that's for sure.
We could do just Rusty onlys.
Oh no, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm good. Thank you so
You don't want to Glad? I'm sad that I missed the time. Like, I missed the deadline for that Guns Glad tournament, and that's just right about when I started streaming.
You're gonna use a
And-
dagger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's all the time I have for tonight. Unfortunately, we can come back to that if you want.
Yeah. I mean, this is a kind of a good segue to end on. I mean, just that was a quick 1v1.
It was very quick, yeah. Unfortunately, my aim could not stand a chance to yours.
Sinbad, do you play chess at all? I played a little bit. I just started playing, actually. How did you know? Mind reader. Crazy. Crazy you just asked me that. I'm just reading your chat. But what were you saying?
I was saying that your aim kind of superseded mine.
Yeah, I mean people tell me I'm cracked, but
Yeah, you have really good aim, man.
I wish I could translate that to like a different game, but every time I mean I'm okay at aiming on COD, but it's not the same. Like I feel like this, the third person full screen effect, and it's over the shoulder, so it's not like every other game.
True, yeah. The only game that I can compare it to was S4 League.
I remember S4 League.
Okay.
Was that like anime game like that? That was pretty.
I mean, Guns is an anime kind of game too. But yeah, S4
Right.
League was a lot more anime.
I thought it was prettier. Like like the game just looked a lot better in S4 League
Yeah.
because they were kind
Updated.
of crazy.
It was more cartoony too.
Yeah, true. That's what I
Yeah.
kind of meant. Cartoony.
Yeah, it was a lot more cartoony than Guns.
Does the crosshairs affect your aim much, or is it useless for you? So funny thing is, if you press Alt Z in game, which is also the command for NVIDIA
Yeah.
Shadow Play or whatever, Ironically enough, I just found that out the other day. But guns actually has a you can pretty much hide the HUD and by pressing Alt Z in game, and you can shoot without using crosshairs. Sometimes I do that when I don't want to focus on like my HP. Like if I'm getting killed really fast, sometimes I'll turn it off just to see if like not looking at my HP, because sometimes looking at your HP will make you lose. You know, you're sweating. But yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me on, buddy. It's been a blast. I was like I said, I was really excited for this. Hmm. Am I still on?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, we're good.
I was reading something. Yeah, we can circle back, man. Um, do some more 1v1s. We could actually do that like during the week too.
Yeah, no worries. It was fun.
And it would be fun to play eye guns as well.
Oh yeah, that I mean that's a fun server just to mess around on,
Yeah.
especially with the bot that they have, the training bot.
Oh yeah. I was actually one of the devs, I think is Anyway. I can't say his name.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, that guy.
yeah, I remember. I know him. He's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah, me too. Back whenever it was like pre-pandemic, like at kind of like at the start of pandemic, we used to like watch movies and stuff in a Discord chat.
Hmm.
And then he started working on the server stuff, and he actually made that the animation for the Discord icon.
Oh, okay, cool. That's
But
that's awesome.
yeah, he was giving me some tips on how to use the bot and stuff like that.
Yeah, before the last update, the bot was naked. You're dealing with a naked bot, and now they put clothes on it. I was like, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
You can actually make it crash the game. I found out.
Oh, really? You can make the
Yeah.
bot crash it?
Yeah, I have to show you some other time.
Oh,
But
yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. All right, man. GG's. Thanks for having me on. I love the stream. I always pull you up, bro. I always keep a tab up for you, bro.
Yeah, I do too for you, man. Likewise.
All right, GG's, guys.
All right. See you later, Sinbad.
Peace.
Dude, I like Sinbad. He's actually super cool. He's actually very chill.